Game, great entertainment, guys. And although you can question the goals that Manchester United conceded, they showed great character to come back and get that point, Owen. No,
I'm just trying to.
Positive.
There was a lot going on in the game. The
Chaos.
First 20 minutes were really good and they were really efficient. But then after that, 20 minutes after that were disappointing. There were so many holes defensively, didn't stop any crosses, and then to go 3-2 down after being 2-0 was I think even for United was quite ridiculous, really. But credit the boys. Erik made 2 subs late on, brought on Johnny Evans and Maguire. Even with 10 men, they nicked their point. But still, I think there'll be a lot of question marks, a lot of frustration with that. Start was so good, and then the middle part of the game was crazy, and then they found a way to fight back. So but basically that's what it's been like for a couple of years. It's, we just saw it again tonight.
Coming into the game, Karen, we spoke before the match about the pressure that the manager was under, about how important it was for him to pick up a result in this game, but also get a performance out of the team. The way the match started with the Marcus Rashford goal, it was what he wanted to see. Like
Owen said, it was a brilliant first 20 minutes for them, controlled the game, obviously went 2-0 up, but then after that, then, like I said earlier, they fell apart, and this is the 1-0. I like the build-up. I like popping it in, Casemiro flicking it around the corner. This was a constant get-out for them, and I think the press from Porto was wrong. But nevertheless, Manchester United capitalised on it again. Nice diagonal switch, midfield was split. Eriksen in really good space, and what I liked about this was they kept giving Rashford the ball, kept giving him 1v1s, and then leave him alone and said, go on, push and run, and we'll leave you to take someone on, gets inside to the box, and then you're petrified to take him down, and goalkeeper's poor in that, but you earn your own look, Owen.
You do. The first goal was really good, and it's nice to see Marcus be so positive, get the ball and run at defenders. He did against Twente. I said to him after the game, really well played. He was really positive and really direct, and that's what you want to see from Marcus. Okay, the keeper, he can do better. But I think when Marcus runs forward and gets ahead of steam like that, he is really, really difficult to play against. Great goal, perfect start to the game. And the only probably negative was against Twente was, can you go get a second? But they did that in this game. You're saying, right, brilliant press. Højlund competes for the ball there, and they get bodies forward. Everybody's getting into the box. Marcus, nice patience, good way to pass Højlund. And that's a really good goal. At 20 minutes, you'd say, wow, that's perfect. At a
and
tough
on his
place,
first start of the season as well.
Brilliant. And, he's a really positive runner. And there were so many positives from the first 20 minutes. You could have never anticipated they could throw that game away. Because the first 20 minutes, they were clinical in front of the goal. We said they'd wasted chances. They didn't do that today. But then defensively, there were so many gaps.
The game unravelled after this, Karen, didn't it? As soon as Porto got a goal back.
Yeah, they did, and it was crosses into the box. But at 2-0, just going off that, I thought the concentration from United was poor, and then Porto were back in the game.
Let's have a look at that Porto goal then that got them back in this, Owen.
Yeah, I think defensively they just don't deal with it. De Ligt there, it's not a great header. Then Marcus just lets Maguire run in. It's easy for him to cross the ball. And then they just miss sight of it. I think it's difficult for Mazraoui at the back post. He just tries to get something on it. But somebody's got to deal with this ball. Second balls are such an important part of the game. Maguire just walks into that space. Somebody's got to pick him up. You can't just let him walk in. Then obviously Pepe goes in off the back of Martinez. He's just a little bit late. There's 3 of them that could have dealt with that, and they don't.
But even in the build-up, that De Ligt and Martinez, are so... I don't know what they're doing. They're not a partnership. They're all over the shop, and they were all over the gaff tonight. And I'm not surprised in the end he brought the 2 centre-backs on, but wow.
And at that point, we were saying, when we were watching it, how are Manchester United going to respond after conceding? Well, the answer is not very well, because less than 6 minutes later, they concede a second.
But that's been their issue for a couple of seasons. They concede one, and then they concede another. And that's exactly what happened. To be fair, Porto do well, keep the ball. That's great patience. Keep the ball alive. Again, look at Maguire, the space that he has. And Samuel, he just pins. Too strong, too big. And Karen highlighted him before the game. What a player he is. 20 years old, physically so strong. Good in the air, but too easy to get crosses into the box. And that 2-2, you really feared for United because the momentum was with Porto.
Yeah, we said it, didn't we? Conceding goals in quick succession in Europe shouldn't really be a surprise, because it's something we've seen time and time again under Erik ten Hag. Coming into the second half, as Owen said, though, it felt like the momentum was with Porto, and they managed to capitalise on that with a third goal.
Yeah, they did. And then at this point, then we were massively fearing for United. We're just highlighting there. The press was okay, but then Casemiro switches off again. The concentration gets run off the back shoulder. The two centre-backs are literally holding hands and then obviously get running behind. And then Samu does what he does best, gets in front of De Ligt, and De Ligt doesn't know where he is. But I just want to look at the two centre-backs there. They're so close to each other. And Martinez is thinking, do I do De Ligt's job? Then he switches off, then De Ligt switches off. That they were really, really poor tonight.
Struggled.
And they're Casemiro as well. So, I mean...
The gaps are too big there. You know, I think obviously get down the side of Martinez. De Ligt loses Samu, who was absolutely brilliant in terms of running the channels, efficient in front of goal. That kid's a player, and he caused De Ligt absolute nightmares today.
It's twice in a row now, back-to-back matches. Manchester United conceded 3 goals since Erik ten Hag joined the club in 2022. No Premier League team has conceded 3 or more goals than Manchester United in that time in all competitions. 24 games it's happened in. That's not good enough, is it, Owen?
No. I mean, today wasn't... The first 20 minutes were good. After that was a mess, really. And I think that's the issue. We said before the game, we're highlighting, OK, they got goal-scoring issues, only scored 5 in 6 games in the Premier League. Then today they had defensive issues. You know, at times it looks like they get something sorted and then something else goes. He's got to find a consistent centre-back partnership. You know, he took off his 2 starting centre-backs for 2 ones that have been there for a really long time, Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. He's got to find goals at the top of the pitch. He's got to find defensive partners. He's got to find a partnership in midfield. But again, we go back to there's a lot of issues. You know, he's been there for quite a while, Erik, now. A lot of that should have been sorted. So I think there'll be a lot of questions after the game because, you know, that's not the level they need to be consistent.
Yeah, we'll be hoping to hear from Erik ten Hag very shortly as well, so stick around for that, Karen. It didn't get much better after that because Bruno Fernandes, the captain, then gets shown a second yellow card. Here's the first one. He got sent off eventually, but we're just going to take a look at the first yellow card. What do you think?
I think he catches him on the top of the foot. You know, in the modern game now, that is going to be a yellow card. We see it time and time again in the Premier League, whether we like it or not. It is the way it is now. He's late. I mean, for me, there's no question on this one. I think when it originally happened, I was like, go with your head. And then when he hangs his foot up so high and, you know, it's actually, I don't know why he's not gone with his head, he's not close enough, but that is a yellow card as well, so there's no complaints in that. OK, he's had an overturn the other day, but that's 2 back-to-back red cards now for your Manchester United captain. You know, that's the control element that you need, and it wasn't there tonight.
The one against Tottenham felt harsh. Was this one harsh as well?
No, the Tottenham one was not a red. He was unlucky. I don't think he was unlucky tonight. The first one, you know, but because it's early on in the game, they'll probably give a yellow for that, just because your foot's high. It doesn't need to be. Let him chest the ball, let him take the ball down, and then you win the ball on the ground. If you're on a booking, the second one, you just can't make that challenge. Just go head it.
He didn't receive a single red card in his first 241 appearances for Manchester United. And now in back-to-back games, he's got red cards, albeit he won the appeal for the red card against Tottenham. Is this a sign of frustration?
Yeah, I think it is. It is frustration, and I'm frustrated. I'm not a Man United fan. I'm frustrated every time I watch them. So I couldn't imagine being playing in it. And also, if you're captain and it looks like the manager can't have control and the captain can't have control, that's maybe his way of showing his frustration. And so I can get it, but you can't show it. And you're right, it's been the other one against Spurs was rescinded, but you can't ignore it. He's still kicked out, and then it's not uncharacteristic like, but it is frustration.
Yeah. Well, at 3-2 down, we were all scratching our heads in here as to why Erik ten Hag then changed his 2 centre-halves and brought on Harry Maguire as one of those substitutes. But I guess this is why, because he is a threat in the box, Owen.
Yeah, and it's a brilliant ball in from Eriksen, just stands it up. What a great header from Harry Maguire. You know, that's what you need. You need the big players to stand up. You know, just find something in a moment where you're under huge pressure. That could be a huge point, obviously, for Erik. But huge for Harry Maguire. Great ball from Eriksen. It's exactly, they just needed something in that moment, and Harry Maguire delivered.
How crucial could that goal be for the future of his manager?
I don't know whether it will change much, to be brutally honest. I feel for Harry Maguire because De Ligt's come in. I don't think he's made a great difference, and I think Harry Maguire might have come on there.
Harry will play on the weekend against Villa. I think he'll have to. Yeah, De Ligt, he struggled today.
Yeah,
Obviously, Sam was a super explosive and powerful player. But let's be fair, Ollie Watkins at the top of the pitch, John Duran, that's not going to get any easier.
No.
You know, so it's he's got some big calls to make.
Yeah, well, we're hearing that out in Porto, the Manchester United dressing room door is still closed. To be a fly on the wall in that room right now. We hope to hear from the Manchester United manager.
Locked in the United dressing room for quite a long time. What has your manager been saying to you? What have you been saying to each other as players?
No, I think after every game you analyse and you speak amongst yourselves. The manager spoke, a few members of staff spoke, and the players spoke as well. So no, it's pretty normal. I've been in many dressing rooms after the game where everyone has a chat and speaks about what we can do better.
In terms of the game tonight, from 2-0 up, how did that one slip away the way it did?
Well, I think when you get 2-0 away from home in a place like this, you've got to be a little bit more solid and a little bit more secure. There were far too many gaps, too many crosses coming to the box, for sure. I think in that first half there was 5 or 6 dangerous balls coming to the box, and they ultimately punished us for it. And we played really well with the ball in the first half, just really poorly without it, I think.
This team seems to have a habit of conceding goals in bunches. There was 6 minutes between the two in the first half. Why do you think that is? Is there a structural issue? Is it a resilience, a mental issue?
No, I think it's more probably of a mental issue. I think it's something that we've got to overcome. I think probably starts with belief. I mean, when we go 2-0 up and then we concede, does the belief go a little bit between the boys that we can go on and win the game here? It's something that we need to be aware of, something that we need to focus on, and really make sure that when we do concede, we get together, we regroup, and we stick together, because that's part and parcel of football, and it's something that we've got to do better.
Why does that keep happening? Because that was something your manager referenced on Sunday as well at Tottenham, where the same kind of thing happened, and he mentioned the belief sort of evaporating after the early goal and then the one right after half-time. Is there something that you need to do on the pitch? Do you need to show more leadership? What is it?
No, maybe you can talk about leadership. I think it's an easy word to throw out. The boys on the pitch have obviously got together. They've got to realise that it's happened far too many times. They've got to realise that every time we concede, it's something that we need to reset and refocus and make sure that we go back to the game plan which got us the lead in the first place. But yeah, it's something that we do need to improve on. It's something that we'll speak about amongst the players. But if we want to be successful this season, we can't be conceding 2 goals in as many minutes as we have done this season.
There's been a lot of talk about your manager's future, that this game and the game on Sunday may be crucial for him to keep his job. Do you as players, do you still believe in him? Do you think you can go further and improve under him?
Yeah, definitely. I think, to be honest, I've played for this club now for 6 years, so I know how it works. And when you go through a bad spell, players come under pressure, but also the manager does. And he's experienced enough, he's been in the game long enough, he's been at this club long enough that I'm sure he's learned how to deal with it. And it's part and parcel of playing for this club or managing this club. And yeah, it's part of the privilege that you have.
Appreciate it, Harry. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Harry Maguire understands that pressure better than most, doesn't he, Owen? And he says he's standing by the manager. But when you have a look at these results since the start of this season, just the 3 wins in 10 matches now. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Harry spoke great. You know, he really did show leadership coming out. Didn't throw anybody under the bus, any teammates or his manager. But the football at this level, especially at a club like Manchester United, is about results. End of. You know, and Erik, you keep saying, OK, they won a trophy, and he's right, they did. They have won trophies. But you have to get results consistently. You look at the teams at the top, whether it's City, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Liverpool, they're getting results all the time. You know how they're going to play all the time. You know who's going to play all the time. Man United chopping and changing all the time. At the top of the pitch, in midfield, in defence, they're not getting results. They're not playing great football. So you're going to get questions. And to be fair, Harry's been there for 6 years, and he knows it. He knows how difficult it is to deal with kind of that, the pressure and the magnitude, especially when you're not getting results. But they got to turn this around, because again today, 2-0 up, you should just walk away from there with an easy win. And a 2-0 lead turns into that. And that's why, rightly so, questions are asked.
Well, the man tasked with turning things around is Erik ten Hag. We can hear from him now with Danny.
Erik, when we spoke before the game, you said you wanted to see a reaction from your players. Did you think you saw them? What were your thoughts on the performance tonight?
We started the game very good, and we dominated them. We scored 2 good goals, but then we lost control. So the start was good. The middle part was no good, and then we finished very good. And it's a tough place to go. And yeah, we're coming back from a 3-2, and we get the equalizer. So it's good for the spirit. You see again, the team is willing, strong character, but the middle part, in the defending, we have to improve.
Why did that happen? What happened in the middle part of the game to lose control so quickly?
First of all, be better on the ball, like the first part. Keep switching. Well, we had our 3 players. We had a good plan, and in the half spaces we had our 3 players. So use them, and then more goals will come. And the second thing is, obviously we have to defend better.
This team seems to have a habit of conceding goals in bunches. It happened at the weekend. It's happened again tonight. And it's the 4th time in a row in Europe away from home you scored 3 and failed to win the game. Why is that? Is there a mental resilience problem in this team?
So we had 3 clean sheets not so long ago, a time ago. So we can defend very good, but we have to go back to those habits, and only then you can win games. And when you score 3 times in an away game in Europe, that must be enough.
Marcus Rashford had a great first half, scored a fantastic goal, almost added another. Why did he come off at half-time?
We have to rotate. And Garnacho, we didn't start him. He had a great game, not only on Sunday, but I think in the whole season. And so we subbed them. On Sunday we have again another hard game, good game. So we need players to be available and be fit and fresh.
So could Rashford not have played any more minutes tonight?
But we have to play Garnacho.
And is that with an eye on Sunday?
Pardon?
Is that with an eye on Sunday? You sub Rashford to make him play on Sunday?
We go quickly turn around to Villa, and they have a day longer. We have an away game, so we want fresh players on the pitch on Sunday.
Obviously, we've spoken about the speculation around your future. The performance tonight, do you think it gave Manchester United fans enough to believe in you and your future at this club?
We will get there. Don't judge us in this moment. Judge us in the end of the season. I said the same last season. Just wait. We will work and we will continue, and we will fight. And you see the spirit and the connection between the staff and the team and the players together. There's a strong spirit. They want to achieve, and we are in a direction. We have that good mentality in the spirit-wise, but especially in some defending parts, we have to step up.
Thank you, Erik.
You're welcome.
So, Erik, obviously mixed emotions after that game. However, we started off very strong. How are you feeling after that?
I think that is a good assessment. Mixed emotions. We started very well, scored 2 great goals. We dominated the game, and then we gave it away. We let them return in the game. Of course, it was great quality from them. We have to say that as well. But the way we defended, we have to do better there. And also the 3rd goal, we have to do better. But then we picked it up again, and this team showed some resilience. This team showed again a great fighting spirit, and in the end, we got rewarded for it by equaliser.
There were some great goals in there too, and obviously Harry Maguire's final goal there to help us. How important was it, that desire in the squad to obviously fight till the end?
Yeah, we have a squad, and the bench is so important, especially in the number of games we have to play. And every time we have to rotate, make the right choices. And this choice felt very good for us. And so we are very happy, of course, with the equaliser from Harry.
And then at half-time, obviously, Marcus Rashford come off too. How is he doing? Is he okay? And all those rest of the squad seeming okay after the game?
He is okay. But also Alejandro Garnacho, he is in the season. He is our attacking threat in this moment, and we brought him from the bench. So we need fresh players also up to Sunday, and yeah, that's all in the plan.
And finally, as you mentioned there, game on Sunday, it's very quick turnaround. How much, obviously, because that fight at the end that we showed is going to really help us on Sunday to really stick together and have that desire?
Not only on Sunday. We have to bring it every game, and we have to do it over 90 minutes. And that is the thing where we have to improve.
Thank you very much.
Well, Erik ten Hag's saying there that they didn't play consistently well for the full 90 minutes. If performances continue this way and the results continue in the vein they have since the start of the season, Karen, with just the 3 wins in 10 games, will they stay patient, the leadership group at Manchester United, with the manager?
I mean, he said wait till the end of the season. Off my gut, I'm not sure if he'll be that person at the end of the season. I think he's going off of what happened last season, where you got a cup in the FA Cup final and that's the back end. But from what I'm seeing, I've said at the start of the show, I've said consistently, tactically, I don't get it. So I don't see the long-term plan of him being able to do that. And I don't understand his substitutes either at times throughout the season, and in particular today.
How can this change for him? How does the mood change, Owen?
Got to win. Just got to win games. That's it. You know, they've already lost 3 in the league in 6. You know, they're 13th in the Premier League. 13th. You know, he's right. If you get to the end of the season, they might win another trophy. But if they keep on this road that they're on, you know, that's not going to happen, obviously, is it? You know, they can't keep losing games and, you know, conceding 3 goals. So they got to turn around defensively. They had so many issues today. I do think for him to have a consistent centre-back partnership is essential. To any top team, that's essential. He took his 2 centre-backs off today, and they struggled. But he needs that in defence, he needs that in midfield, and he needs somebody to score goals at the top of the pitch. I'm surprised he took Marcus off, who I thought played terrific.
Do you
and
buy
he said
that,
about rotation.
what he said?
I don't know.
Do
I mean,
buy
you have to believe him, because that's what he said. But you know, he scored 1, set 1 up, and then you have rotation. I know they got Villa on the weekend, but you got to get through this game. And Garnacho's one of the most consistent attackers. So play Marcus and play Garnacho and play Højlund at the top of the pitch. Obviously, Bruno, you know, normally he plays in that number 10 position, but the team needs to be settled in terms of partnerships. All the great United teams that had success, you knew who was playing as a centre-back pairing. You knew who was playing in centre midfield. You knew who was playing at the top of the pitch, pretty much. With United now, you don't know, because there's a lot of chopping and changing.
Yeah, did that surprise you as well, Marcus Rashford coming off?
Yeah, I did. I thought going forward he was exceptional. I understand that crosses were coming in from that side, but when Marcus is that strong going forward, I think then you say, Dalot, just sit and let's get defensively okay. But even with the rotation, he's on hot form, you keep him in and you deal with the consequences at the end of the game in terms of players' fitness. So, yeah, I don't think that was the right decision at all.
So with the games to come then, Owen, as we've already mentioned, it's Aston Villa at the weekend on Sunday. That is a tough match. And then we've got Brentford after that, followed by another really tough away trip in the Europa League to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce.
Tough games, really tough, a lot tougher than they've probably faced. But they need to find something, you know, they need to find something as a group. Look, Erik's resilient, he's shown that over the time that he's been there, but they're going to be really tested. Villa Park on the weekend is going to be so tough. We saw the performance against Bayern was brilliant. Big test for Erik and the players. They need to find a way to bounce back.
Guys, thank you so much for your company again this evening. It's been a really entertaining night of...
Casi a producto nuevo por semana, producto bonito que, por supuesto, pues siempre invitamos a la gente a que consuma. Si queréis encontrarlo en kingsleague.pro, pues ahí tenéis las nuevas chaquetas training y también esas camisetas especiales con detalles dorados que llevan todos los equipos.
Oye, ustedes tendrán más memoria que yo, pero ¿cuánto quedaron la última vez que se enfrentaron ellos?
3-4 ganó 1K.
3-4.
En el histórico de estos dos equipos, el que gane desempata, porque han ganado 2. El X-Buyer Team ha ganado 2. 1.
Becker se lleva el rebote. Becker para marcar. Becker. El rechazo de Arnaldo. ¡Gol!
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
¡Gol!
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos, Pablo! ¡Qué suerte!
Mascarra en el Cooper Arena. Gol de Pablo Becker.
No será capaz, ¿no? ¡No será capaz! ¡Qué cabrón! ¡Qué cabrón!
A ver
si
sale
sacan
el 2.
más de 3, se quedan sin trabajo. Mira, muy
¡Hombre!
bien.
No,
¿Cómo
bien.
valoran el trabajo? Bien.
Ahí está ese ataque por parte del X-Buyer Team. El toque dentro de Becker. Puede marcar Carbó. ¡Gol!
¡Vamos!
¡Gol! Pablo Becker. Becker que quiere poner el centro por delante. Finalmente lo pone por detrás del defensor. Carbó la pista. Carbó.
No jodas.
¡Es el mejor de esta puta competición!
¡Es el Corona de Oro! China la juega atrás, no se decidió a tirar. Granero busca su perfil, Granero.
Golazo.
¡Gol! De 1K. Marca Granero. Y sí, otra vez lo ha vuelto a hacer. Buller, mira, no,
Gol doble. Gol doble, claro, porque tiene sanción. Ah, claro, vale, vale.
Sanción, efectivamente. Grande. Claro que sí. Bueno, sinceridad ante todo. Ahí está. Juanma el toque. ¡Gol!
Vale.
¡Velilla!
haciendo un buen trabajo defensivo, ojo.
¡Granero!
¡Qué golazo!
¡Qué chicharro de Marc Granero! ¡Qué barbaridad! El recorte de zurda y el disparo con la derecha. Que la metió en la escuadra. Ojo ahora que ataca el X Buyer Team. ¡Gol! Va a pegar Fuad en la falta.
¡Santa madre de Dios! Sí,
vamos a ver ahí esa pelota dentro del área para Juanma, que lo puede matar. ¡Gol!
2 de Juanma.
Sí, no podía ser otro que Roger Carbón. No sé si te imaginabas que tu vuelta iba a ser de esta manera.
Pues la verdad que no, o sea, ha sido la vuelta ideal. Hat-trick, partido de octavos y mañana jugamos cuartos, o sea, ha sido ideal. Aunque el trabajo no, o sea, me lo llevo yo, pero el trabajo es de todos. Hemos trabajado mucho y al final los resultados se han visto reflejados en el campo. Así que muy contento.
Parecía o puede parecer que sois el rival más débil por todas las bajas, pero en los pasillos se comenta que nadie quiere enfrentarse a vosotros.
Bueno, a ver, yo escuché una persona que dijo de Gigantes que quería enfrentarse a nosotros. Así que mañana a las 9 no te preocupes, que estaremos aquí con muchas ganas. Y más después de esas declaraciones. ¿Sabes por quién voy?
Yo no lo sé quién es.
No lo voy a decir, esta persona lo sabe.
Bueno, pues enhorabuena.
Muchas gracias.